I had
those too.
a mini Eagle.
You had
I
a
was
mini
an
what?
FHA, mini Eagle. I was an FHA specialist. I used to give out FHA loans in the day. I made a lot of money in that gig. Lots. And I educated people. Like, this is why I asked Bill. I educated people not to just buy a house, but to hold on to your house. Because FHA was so easy to get. It was ridiculous, man. It was just the craziest loan in the
You
world.
just said it. You educated.
Yes.
You educated. Do you know how so many business owners don't feel the need to educate the consumer or the professional?
And that's a problem. That's
That
what's
is a
wrong with
problem.
our society.
Absolute problem.
That's just one of the reasons I love what this guy does, is
Yes.
because he educates. And
Yes.
and that's the reason I even asked you the question, Bill, because without the education, you're going to get into buying this car you can't afford, and the next thing you know, you're in the soup again.
Well, one of the things, Gabe and I, we talk about all the time. People, you hear this all the time on the radio. APR, the interest rate's APR. People really don't know what that means.
They just know the
It's
three
annual
letters.
percentage rate. I use a joke term. I always call it the average person's rip-off rate. Because
That's a
what
good point.
happens is, in a mortgage, if you have a 4% mortgage, and nobody does this because nobody pays their mortgage off in 30 years, usually they refinance. But if you have a 4% mortgage, the only way you're ever going to pay 4% is if you pay it off in the first year. Or in about the 29th year, it becomes 4%. The average person over 30 years, if they pay that loan off, their interest rate, not the APR, their interest rate is 71.9%. That's what they're paying, and you can look it up. You can figure it out on your next mortgage statement. All you have to do is take the principal and the interest, add them together, then take the interest and divide it by the bigger number, and you'll see what you're paying.
I got an easier way. If you buy a $100,000 house and you take out a 30-year mortgage, you're going to pay $356,789 over the course of that deal, because it's a 3.5% ratio. Because the first 15 years is all interest.
Right.
And people used to come to me when I sold mortgages, and I said that. I said, that's right. That's because at the end of the first or second year, you keep your credit straight, and we're going to jump down and refinance to 15 years. And that's a better deal than the 30-year in the short run. But you're right. A lot of people don't last 30 years. Can you imagine a 30-year commitment and anything? What do you do for 30 years? Except you. You've been married for 31 years.
Well,
Not that long.
30 years? Mm-hmm. There you go. But look at this.
But we haven't paid our mortgage
But
off
we got
yet.
20 people
But
in
wait,
here.
I've only refinanced a few times.
That's right. You got 20 people in here. Only 2 people doing a commitment to 30 years. It's very, very
Well,
tricky.
you know what happens? I had a gentleman come in my office one time, and I asked him, "You have a mortgage?" "Yes, I have a mortgage." "How much is it?" $1,500 a month, but I don't pay that. I said, "Well, what do you pay?" "Oh, I pay $2,500.
You pays more.
So I say, "Why do you do that?" "Oh, I want to pay it off sooner." I said, "Well, let me tell you why that's a bad idea." I said, "Let's say you did that for 2 years and you paid them at $24,000. Now you lose your job, can't get another one. House goes in foreclosure, you lose it. Not only do you lose your house, the money you paid, but you lost
It's
your
gone.
$24,000.
Yeah.
I said, "Here's worst case. You have any children?"
Right.
"Oh, yeah, I have kids." Let's say they go to the hospital. Everyone knows the healthcare business, what it's in. They're going to take care of most of it, but they need $18,000 from you. Can you go to the mortgage company and say, "I overpaid you 24, I need 18"? No, they're going to say, "Come on in, we'll give you a second mortgage." But if you set up what we call a bank, you're going to use that money to pay the mortgage. But in this case, because we don't know what's going to happen in life, I always say to them, "Are you going to save your house or are you going to save your kid?"
That's right. And you
But
know
the
who's going to win
decision
that
is
fight.
theirs.
Yes, but you're giving them the road, right? You're giving
Right.
them the options and letting them pick before they even get involved in the deal.
We're giving them the right to make the decision
Yes.
with their money, rather than having them give their money to somebody else who's going to make the decision.
Pay yourself first, and that's the hardest thing.
Right.
Pay yourself first,
If I
right?
might, we keep going around is the education is a gift that you're doing because it's the right thing to do to help people, and it's not about the sale. Sales are transactional, and there are a lot of people out there just, "Give me your money, give me your money, give me your money. I'm going to grab it from you. Next, next, next," versus the lifetime relationships that everyone here is talking about building. I'm going to educate you. Maybe I can't help you, but I'm going to do my darndest to educate you, so you have you can make an intelligent choice. And I may not be the right one for you, but it's the right thing to do. And by doing that, they will still recommend you. They may not have even done business with you, but people will recommend you.
Yes.
Because this person really tried to take care of me. And that's all about educating, and it's about being honest and caring about helping.
Before we go into our second hour, where can people find the networking base, Gabe?